All right, everybody, welcome back to another breakdown video. Today, I wanted to go over a match I had 2 days ago at Washington Submission Series at the Enumclaw Jiu-Jitsu over there in beautiful Enumclaw, Washington. Um, it's been my goal to get back into competition this year, and I know it's been a minute since I've had it really much on this channel other than for our battle grappling show, but I want to start getting back on this, and I think the breakdown is always one of our most popular series because while I, hope people found it educational and learned something from it, I know I learned something from it every time. And whenever I have competition footage for myself, I like to watch it and see, okay, where can I get stronger? Where am I weak right now? What do I need to work on? And doing these breakdown videos helps me do that as well. Because sometimes, especially when let's just say instead of winning, you learn a little bit. It can be a little difficult to jump right back in and look at it critically, but I think it's really important to do so whenever you can, whenever you have the luxury of having that footage. I hadn't, in terms of background, I haven't had a chance to compete very much in the last 2 years. I mean, COVID's been a trying time for everyone, especially a gym owner. All of you guys out there who own your own gym or who try to make a living at this sport should know that it's been tough. But between that and coming back from an injury with my hip and the renovation of my new house, I bought a house, big life moments. But it's been really tough to get some training. So I really have had 2 competitions in the last 2 weeks and about as much like serious kind of training time. So I've been pretty excited for the improvement I made from the previous week at ground control, CJJ, and then to this week at WASUB. I'm pretty excited about that. So I just got to keep that improvement rolling, and hopefully be able to step on the mats and show even more of what I can do this next weekend at the Rev. So in any case, guys, let's go and jump into it. This match is against Connor Holverson. He was one of the 3 of us who ended up jumping into this little round robin tournament that they set up. Originally, it was a super fight with Connor, but Robert Wolf's opponent, who's a black belt out of Impact BJJ, down in Beaverton, his opponent didn't show up, so we jumped into like a little 3-person round robin. So let's get into it. Connor came out with a really nice, very intentional set of grips. I felt like his strength there. Went for a little arm drag, I countered to my underhook, so we were in this over-under position. I went for a little swing single there, but I didn't fully commit to it. So let's go back to that real quick. Right from the gripping, I think. So he goes for arm drag, and I countered, getting an underhook, stopping him from going with the go behind. I really like the over-under position, and I was trying something a little new there. So I'll go back and pause for a second. It's something I was trying to do is try out some new stuff in competition, because you always see, more so than when you're rolling with people who are a little less skilled or your students, where you can go wrong. In this one, I didn't fully commit to the technique. I dropped through to it, and he did a really good job of using his underhook to stop me from getting deep in on his leg. So Connor did a good job with that. But I just learned, you got to go all the way. It's like a big commitment move. And he hits a nice lateral drop coming off of that. So as my weight came up. Yeah, nice. So from here, I'm just trying to recollect and settle. Trying to keep my arms nice and safe. Elbows in. Thinking about going out the back here. So I'm going for my little spin cycle escape. He does a really good job of settling his weight real tough there on my lower rib cage, which is going to help stop me from sneaking out the back. One danger of the spin cycle escape is your arm is, he goes, he's collecting it there. There you go. And he's going to try to set up a Kimura. Watch the back thing. Shoulders to the mat here. Yeah, let's go back to that. So Connor's doing a good job of recognizing that by having my arm in that overhooked position, it is exposed, right? He's between my elbow and my rib cage, so that gives him access to this arm. So you're going to go for any technique like this, you just have to understand this. You have to understand those weaknesses, those dangers. So you'll see as he goes over the head to try to collect probably an arm bar, maybe a Kimura trap, I just turn into him and pull the elbow through. Now, it's not always that simple. Sometimes someone's going to keep it, right? And then you're in more danger. But you just have to, any technique you're using has a counter, has things that are going to be presented to your opponent. So you just have to, the fun part of all of this is anticipating those things and training in that kind of depth. So he goes to take my back there, and so I'm going to this kind of like little upside down turtle position just to keep him from getting that back take. So I'm just kind of moving my hips, and I should have, if I had been just turned and tried to settle on top right there. He had the body lock, but I was on top of him. I should have gone and tried to collect his hips, using my arms, or stepping over to like a mount position. But, he did a good job of really staying on that control point and not trying to force anything too hard here. Like he's just kind of looking for opportunities.
Control both legs. You have the quad.
So, yeah, so I'm playing with this quad pod defense. Someone's on turtle or on your back, or trying to go for the back. Just elevating your hips really high and making it just a gravity fight them on the way to your back can be very effective. And then even if they do get on your back, it makes it harder for them to stretch you out and flatten you to the mat like with their hooks. So the course danger you'll see here is that you are exposing your arms. If your arms stay in contact with the neck, there's not as much in the danger of, especially both arms, any kind of the like front headlock attacks. However, that's something to watch out for there too as well. If they can get your one arm in with an exposure on the other side, or vice versa, that's something to be aware of. So he goes here. So I'm going long arms, high hips. He goes into a Kimura trap. This is a nice sequence for him. He rolls through, switches immediately to the armbar. So this is where a series of unfortunate events occurs. However, you can say I've been on the defensive since that takedown, but he has a beautiful attack here, and this is something you don't see a ton, except at that like a higher level, and it's just something I really enjoyed seeing. Like even at the time I was like, oh damn, that was cool. I thought, well, alarms are flashing in my head of like I'm about to end in a lot of danger. So I go to trap his leg here, so he can't throw it over and you start assisting his armbar attempt, because he is definitely like creating a lot of tension here. But I think you can see his eyes right there looking at that leg in the middle. If I had been thinking, I should have kept it trapped here at my top leg or outside leg and stepped underneath it and gone over the top with my inside leg. Although, thinking about that would have put me into potentially a position to attack his legs, but it'd be like a 50-50 potentially. So not exactly my favorite game.
One last hitchhiker. He breaks the grip.
There we go. He hits that beautiful step across. Oh, I'm going a little too far ahead. He has this beautiful step over. So he knows that I'm keeping my arms to myself, right? I don't want him to separate this. So as he goes through the step over, there's very little stopping him and transitioning to those legs. So right here, Connor does a great job of collecting the secondary leg as he goes through. You can see he's going to reach and grab my far leg with his other hand. Oh, giving away the spoilers here. Right, boom, right here. Okay, so in this position, in this saddle, honey hole, whatever you call it, you want to turn the other direction, right? You want to go toward your free leg side. So in this case, he has my right leg inside. That's the primary leg. My secondary leg is my left, and you'd want to turn to your left in this case. Turn toward the secondary leg and hide your heel, because right now you can't see it, but you'll see in a second as he turns over. My heel is exposed, and you want to always keep that hidden. So here, as he's going through, he's rolling this direction over the top to his left, my right. He's collecting my second leg to carry me with him. So I didn't have a chance, at least right away, or after he got that second leg, to turn out the way you would preferentially want to. So he carries me with him. So now left with this bad choice, I look to escape my knee line by turning all the way through to my a tripod position and pushing my foot against his hips to escape the knee. However, on the roll through, he immediately collects his grip and right there. So that's not ever what you like. But it's a danger of this game. Heel hooks are extremely dangerous, and come on very quickly. And I think that's a big part of it. Like, sure, an armbar can break your arm. A Kimura can, damage your arm or shoulder. All the joint locks are dangerous. Strangles are dangerous. But I think the heel hook is unique because the time it takes for the break to happen is so short. And you'll see here as he steps over from here.
There we go. Watch it.
It was less than about 1.5 seconds from entry to the tap. Luckily, it doesn't seem like it's like a major injury or anything like that. My ankle is sore, my knee's a little sore, but I have full range of motion and stability, so I think it'll be just fine. Gonna go see my PT guy later today, get that train rolling. But I just think it's a matter of just letting it rest and heal up. But great finish from him, and great sportsmanship too. He immediately checked on me, make sure I was good. So I appreciate Connor stepping up and showing some beautiful technique there. I'm a baby brown belt, so it's stepping up to any new level of competition. I think is always, like, for me, an exciting time period, because you feel, at least I do, and typically in most cases, like kind of an underdog. Like, you're coming in, having to prove something, having to come up, and I think that's an exciting place to be at, compared to if you're the established competitor and you are more experienced than, or as experienced as anyone in your division. Then you have a lot more to protect, so in terms of what you feel like your reputation is. And I think it's a funny thing anytime someone loses a match, that they feel like they're going to be judged too harshly. And I just think it's everyone loses in the sport. It's a tough sport. There's very few people who are undefeated, and I don't think you can really find many of them, right? And I just think it's really the quality of your performances at your best that makes the most difference in terms of how well you're known, versus the where you at when you get just outslicked and out grappled. So all hats off to Connor. I'm excited to see him going forward, and I hope he does well at trials. And just gives me more to practice, more to play with. All right, guys. As always, stay safe, and I'll see you on the mats.